Hello everyone! Today's tutorial will be on adding control customization options to our Fangames. We will also be rewriting how the title screen buttons work. Before we begin, I'd like to thank everyone for another 25 subscribers since last tutorial. It's been really crazy seeing growth like this, and I'm very grateful for it all. Excuse the dog. Let me know if there's any other kinds of videos you'd like to see from me, as I'd like to make some other stuff. The next tutorial will be on adding music to our Fangames, and the one after that will be a beginner's guide to making high quality Toby Fox-like music, or just any style of music in general, for completely free. There will for sure be no tutorial next week, as I'll be in France for a school trip for 8 days. That also means that I might not be available to aid in helping solve people's problems in the Discord, join below by the way, but I'll try, assuming I have time and I'm not exhausted from all the traveling. Anyway, my brother should finally get his Undertale Deltarune style pixel art video soon, so go subscribe. He just had some issues with his computer being not that great and crashing every time he tries to edit the video. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so to start off, what we want to do is we want to open up our title objects. Here we go. So first things first, after here, what we're gonna want to say is control defaults. Okay, and for that we're gonna say global dot select button equals ord parentheses quotation marks Z. Okay, make sure that's capital, and then global dot cancel button equals ord and our parentheses quotation marks X. And we can actually copy this and change it instead of cancel to print like that. Okay, and then we want to say global dot up button equals ord parentheses quotation marks W, and then you can copy this for the other directions as well. Okay, and so you can copy it for all the other directions like this. Don't worry, we still can use the arrow keys, but you'll see why we're doing this soon. Anyway, so after that, what we want to do is we want to add a create event to our object title here. And so in this create event, we are going to create the control default. Okay, so we're going to say select key equals Z, cancel key equals X. Let's say sprint key equals X as well. Menu key equals C. We want our up key, that is not key, up key equals W. Down key equals S. Left key equals A, and right key equals D. Okay, great. So now what we want to do is we want to create a new script here. So we're going to say scripts str underscore update controls. Okay, we don't want a space actually. Here we go. Update controls. There you go. And we can get rid of the comments, we don't really need those. So then in our update controls script, we're going to say if the file exists titled controls.ini, then we want to open up that file, controls.ini, and then we are going to say that our object title, that's not what I want to do, object title dot select key equals ini underscore read string, and the string we're gonna read is gonna be under the save like section, comma. It's gonna be the select key if you want to read, and for the default letter for that, it's gonna be Z. Okay, and then we can copy this for all of our other things, right? So now we can have, instead of select, cancel, oops, yep, like that. No, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Then we can have sprint like that, and then our up, down, left, right. There we go. And of course, now we adjust these letters to be the actual ones we want. Okay, and then we want to say down here that global dot select button equals ord, and then we're gonna say object title dot select key. Okay, there we go. And we can do this, of course, for our other things like that, and then we can say cancel print up, down, left, and right. Okay, and of course, same thing here. You can probably just copy, paste, perfect. Oh, you know what? I forgot the menu key, so let's add that in there after our sprint key. We want object title dot menu key. Here we go, equals ini read string, and of course save menu, and we want VC at quotation marks, and I am now realizing I forgot to change these. We want this to be cancel, so then this will be sprint menu, and I forgot to create the variable in the title screen. Oops, I did, menu key. Or did I not create? I did not create one here. My bad. Global dot menu button equals ord and C. There we go. So now back to the script here. Okay, so now yep, we need to have our menu key here. Global dot menu button equals ord, and then we want our object title menu key. Okay, so then after that, we want to go back to our object title, and here after our control defaults, we just want to say update controls. Alright, and then we're just gonna run our script to update our controls. Perfect. Alright, so now what we want to do is in our function objects here, we are going to create a new one, and this is going to be obj underscore dual input checker. So this is going to be for managing when we have certain like actions that can use two different buttons for it. For example, in Deltarune you can use both Shift and X to run, and you can use both Z and Enter to confirm things. So in order to check for that, first we need a create event, and we're going to create some variables here. Global dot select button pressed equals false. Okay, then we want global dot sprint button press equals false. Okay, and then we want to say global dot up button press equals false. And then we want to copy that for the same thing, but then just add a 1. I'll explain that later, what that means. And we're going to do the same thing for our down, our left, and our right. So now we want to create a step event, and in the step event, first we're going to check for when we click either enter or we click our other assigned like select button. So for that, we're gonna say if keyboard check pressed, and we're gonna say global dot select button or check pressed, and then vk underscore enter. Okay, so then in that case we're gonna say global dot select button pressed equals true, and else global dot select button pressed equals false. There we go. Yep, and now we can do the same thing for the sprint key. Sprint, and we're going to change this from enter to shift, and then of course to sprint. We're going to change this to sprint as well, and okay. So then after that, we're going to do it for up, because I'm going to have it so that you can press both the arrow keys to move around, and you can either use WASD or you can assign your own custom other keys for walking, because I know some people prefer it the other way, or their own custom way. So we're going to add support for that. Anyway, to do that, we're going to change it from select button to up button, and from enter to up, like that. And then change it from select to up, and select to up again. Okay, but one extra step for this one, we need to copy it and paste it again down here, but this time we're removing the press from both of these, and we're going to be adding a 1. Oh, my bad, I actually had these switched. Okay, so we want this to be 1 and this up here to be this down here nothing, this one 1, right? So up here with like the pressed and the 1, that means it's only gonna check it if it's pressed 1 time, which is like you want it for the menus, so it's like only checking if you pressed it 1 time. You have to unpress it and then press it again or to go up the menu again, whereas here we're constantly checking it, and this is for like when you're walking and such and in battles. So yeah, that's why we have it like that. We are just going to copy and paste it for our other directions here. So I'll skip to when I'm done with that. Oh, and a useful way to speed up this process is when you paste it, you can highlight it, make sure this, press Ctrl F, and then make sure this is checked, and then just type, up, and replace it with what direction you want, like that. So, and now we have it all left, and then I can do the same thing. We're going to copy it, Ctrl F, press this one, we're going to click, or say up, and replace it with right. And just like that, we're done with it. Okay, so to actually implement this into the game now, what we need to do is press Ctrl, Shift, and F, and then what we're going to search for is, we can actually just copy it from here, keyboard check pressed, right? And now we can search that, and down here in our search results, you can make this bigger if you want. it'll show all the instances that we have this. So obviously we don't need to worry about anything in the dual input checker, but if we go here at object buttons, line 14, you can see that, and you can just double click it and we'll open it up. We have this little thing where instead of just checking if we're pressing Z, we can check for any possible button input, which would be like whatever custom one we set, or enter. So for that, and we can just say global dot select button pressed, right? Oh, actually one thing I forgot to say is for the dual input checker, what we need to do is, we don't need to give it a sprite. I'm gonna give it a sprite from Papyrus's room. We're gonna give it the computer, sure. And so in the title room, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drag it in here, wherever, doesn't matter because we won't see it. We're just gonna uncheck visible, check persistent. Okay, so now when we run the game, we can press enter and it works along with Z, like that, perfect. So, and don't worry about also doing this in buttons continue, because we're completely going to rewrite that anyway. But yeah, so luckily that's the only time we have it. If you have it anywhere else that's not in the dual input checker or in the buttons, you can replace it with that. But anyway, for now, what we're going to do is we are going to also, yes, we're also going to test if we change over here, like our select key to like A, for example, and we test that. I'm pressing Z, it doesn't work. I press A and it does. So that's how we know it's working. So we can change that back to Z. Okay, well, now that we know that works, what we can do is we can go to our object buttons, and we're basically gonna completely rewrite this. So first of all, we're deleting these press keys here. Actually, no, before we do this, because I'm gonna forget otherwise, go to our characters, go to our object player, and we're going to change this here, the keyboard check, because I also forgot to search for this keyboard check. Yeah, so let's just make sure we find all the instances of that. And yeah, it's just in the player. So yes, just wanted to double check that. But yeah, we want to change this from keyboard check VK up. We can say global dot up button pressed, right? Like that. And yeah, we can do that for each of these and then just change the direction. We need one more thing. We can copy this and just cut it and then delete all the instances of these events for key press. Okay, so then down here, what we want to say is step when move key is tapped. Okay, and then we just want to say if global dot up button pressed, and then paste our image index equals 1, and we can copy that for each direction. And so now if we run the game and I just tap the button, it works as it did before, but now I can also move using WASD. Okay, and so also we want to copy this code and do the same thing in our other party members here. So we can just, after the animate part, paste it in. Yep. And we can delete these because they do the exact same thing, but only for the arrow keys, which we don't want. So yep, get rid of those. Go to any party members you might have, like so, and I will skip to when I'm done with this part. Okay, and so now we have that code in all of our party members. So when we run the game and we get our party members and we just tap it, works like that and looks like that. If you have multiple party members, it might be a good idea to test with all of them just to make sure it works. So let's try adding Chris here and making sure it works with Chris. It didn't work with Chris with the other way I was doing it, but Yep, now it seems to work. Perfect. Oh yeah, we can also delete this like party placeholder too. This is useless actually. Now that I think about it, unless you had like 3 other party members, like with 4 in total, but you'd have to do a lot of different code later on if you're doing that just for like the battle system. Anyway, but you can go to the title and then just get rid of any PN2 stuff we added, because that's kind of useless now that I think about it. So yeah, if party member equals -2, we don't need that. It should also be here. Yeah, we can get rid of this. And we can get rid of this. So no need to worry about that now. And so finally now we can actually go to our buttons. And basically, okay, first let's make a create event here. And we need some variables. So the first one is going to be a menu, which the default will be 1. Then selected, which default 0. Then control, which is going to be 0. Letter, which is going to be A. Oops. Timer, which is going to be 0, and timer 2, which is also 0. So then in our step event, basically we want to say, alright, instead of, alright, so here we're going to say menu 1, right? And then if menu equals 1, then we're gonna create this little thing here, and then actually we're gonna move. Actually, wait, we don't need this INI open stuff. This is useless. Let's delete that. Yes, so if menu equals 1, we're gonna get our brackets around this whole thing here, and we're gonna change this from if image index to selected equals 0, and global dot select button pressed, right? And yep, that is all good. So then after we have our start save part, we're gonna have the settings. That is not settings. If selected equals 1 and global dot select button pressed, then we're gonna say menu equals 2 and selected equals 1 or 0 actually. Okay, and yes, for now we're gonna leave it at that. Okay, so then we'll come back to that, but for now let's create a draw event. And in this draw event, we're going to say draw underscore set underscore font. And this is going to be, actually first we need to create the font. So in our fonts, let's create a font, okay? FNT underscore main, we'll call it. And if you don't have the Determination Sans font installed, a quick Google search should show you, should give you it. You just type in Determination Sans and go to onlinefonts.com and download it like so. Just download it, and you should be able to figure that out. Do the CAPTCHA, I guess. Are these there? I don't know what those are. But yes. Then you click download it to your desktop or wherever your downloads folder also works. What you can do, extract all, and then just it has both the mono and sans versions. The mono font means everything is spaced evenly, and sans means that it's like more naturally spaced, the letters. Yeah, so you just click it and then click install. But I already have it installed, and you can do that for both of those if you want. But I already have that, so I'm not gonna worry. Yep, anyway, so then you just want to make sure font size 12, We want anti-aliasing to be off. Then click regenerate the font texture down here. And yeah, so it's gonna look small here, but in game it's gonna be perfectly fine. So anyway, back in our buttons here, draw set font FNT underscore main. Perfect. Oh, I did not want that. Okay, there we go. And then if menu equals 1, we're gonna create some space here. We're gonna say okay, if selected equals 0, and then we want our brackets, then draw underscore set underscore color, and then this is gonna be I want it to be the same color that I have for the sprite I already made for the title. And to get that, all you gotta do is open up the image here. We can magic wand select the color. Oh wait, no, I meant color pick, my bad. Then double click here, or just click, I guess. Wait. Yeah, just click. And then you can copy this hex code. Okay, I did not mean to do that, it's whatever. But yeah, so we can go back here. And then we put hashtag for the hex code that we want. And then paste it, right? Alternatively, if it's you just don't really care too much about being a specific thing, you can also do like yellow if you want it to be oops, not VK, C yellow, and it's like the Undertale yellow color, right? I'm gonna have it like this because that's how I had it before. And then we're gonna say else, and then our brackets, draw underscore set underscore fonts, oops, not font, color, and then it's gonna be E underscore white. Okay, so it's like when you have it selected, it's gonna be this color. When it's not selected, it's gonna be this color. Anyway, so then after that, we just want to say draw underscore text, and then x comma y comma, and then the text you want. So in my case, that's when you start game, probably the same for you, I'd imagine. So anyway, now we can just go on ahead and paste it for our different possible menu items here. So we're gonna have settings, and for the Y, you want to add a certain amount of space in between it. I think 30 looks good if you have like a few options. If you have a lot more and you want it to be, if you have more, you want it to be more compact, 20 is good. And if it's like a lot, you can also start like moving it to the right at a certain point with like adding to the X, which we actually will need to do this later on, but I don't need that. I'll just have it X, and I like 30 for this menu specifically. Then I'm gonna say for 2, it's going to be extras, and of course we're gonna add another 30 to that, so 60. Okay, and then if it is 3, I'm gonna have it say credits. Great. And then I'm just going to add another 30 to that, so 90. Perfect. So then if we load this up, oops, I did something. Okay, I forgot to do that. Like that. Okay, so now if I start, you can see I have these settings here, right? And I can just, in the actual button stall event, if I wanted to say start game cow, I don't know, it shows up, right? So basically what this means is that we don't actually need these sprites anymore because we're just like replacing it with text. So we can delete those if you want. They're not necessarily anymore. Only thing is that we can't actually like move around and stuff with them yet. So let's add that in real quick. Okay, so what we're gonna do down here is we're gonna say controls, you know, so we can actually control it. If we press the down button one time, let me actually look at that. It seems I forgot to add a D there. There we go. So we go back here. Down button pressed once. Then we're just gonna say selected plus, which is just a short way of like writing plus equals 1. So we're just gonna say plus. And then if global dot down it should be up button pressed actually. Oops. Up button pressed once, and looks like I made the same mistake with not adding a D to one of my things here. Let's fix that. Oops, like that. Okay, so now go back to our buttons, add our brackets, and then selected minus. Okay, so now we can actually go through it. Only problem is you can go like above it, and yeah, so we want it to loop back. So to fix that, we're going to say if menu equals 1 and if selected equals or actually selected is less than 0, then the selected equals 3, and then if selected is greater than 3, then it's gonna set to 0. Selected equals 0. Okay, and so we can this is gonna be different depending on how many things you have in your menu. I have 4 starting at 0, so we're gonna use 3 as the number for selected. But you can change it if you have more. And in fact, we're gonna have some more menus, so just to get those done now, we're gonna paste it, say menu 2, and for menu 2, we're going to have 2 as our thing for 3 different options. And then in menu 3, we're gonna have 6 as our number. Actually, it's gonna be 7 in my reference project. I had the wrong number because I forgot about the menu thing, or like the menu button in game to bring up the menu with C. So yeah, but anyway, for 4, this is gonna be 25, and there we go, 25. And you'll see why we have these numbers later. But anyway, now what we want to do is actually, yeah, so we can see if we go here and we run the game and we press settings, it takes the menu away. That's because we're going to open up a new menu, and so for that menu, let's actually program it. So I'm going to go down here. This is going to be menu 2, and so if menu equals 2, get our brackets, and yeah, so here we have our controls, because this is, you know, where we can actually this is what's going to be like the button we click to get to our control customization. That's why it's controls here. So if selected equals 1 and global dot select button pressed, then menu equals 3, selected equals 0, and timer equals 1. Okay, and then we also want to add an option to back out of the menu, so we're going to say cancel. So if keyboard check pressed, and then we want our global dot cancel button. So if we press the cancel button, Then let's say our menu is going to be the first menu, and we're going to be on the first option in that menu, which is 0. So now if we run F5, we press settings, but if we press X, it takes us back here, and we can't select any of the other options except for begin game, of course. But oh, and for testing this, you're going to want to go to your app data and make sure that your INI file, you delete it, because if I have a save file here, it's not gonna work, right? You need to, because we're not modifying the continue button yet, so just delete that and it will work. All right, and so that's gonna be it for menu 2 for now. Actually, well, no, first we need to add the text for that. So we're gonna say if menu equals 2, and add our space here, and then we can just copy the code from here, paste it, and we are going to change it from save game, and it depends on what settings you want to have in your game. Personally, I'm going to have a language option so that we can change the language, so I'm going to have that first. Then for when we have the second thing selected, so that's going to be 1 since we're starting with 0, we want to change it from start game to controls. Okay, and then the third one, which 2, I'm going to have this be volume. And I might add more settings later on, but for now we're just going to have 3, which is why when we go down here, I had 2 in our menu 2, since it's 3 different options. But anyway, now we load this up, we go to our settings, and oops, I forgot to change the Y positions, so don't forget to do that. Plus 30, Y plus 60. See? There we go. And for now we can click controls, but it doesn't actually do anything yet, so let us add that in. If menu equals 3, and in parentheses I'm going to say controls. Oh, this should be a comment. Menu 3 controls. There we go. Alright. Then we want our brackets. And then, okay, we're also going to we're going to use this thing called a timer. I'm going to say if timer is less than or equal to 0, and then our brackets. I'll explain the timer in a second. Let's say if selected equals 0 and global dot select button pressed, control equals 0, which I'll explain that in a moment as well. Menu equals 4. Selected equals 0. Letter equals object title dot select key, and timer 2 equals 1. And then down here we are going to say timer equals, or just timer minus. Okay, and so basically what this timer is that for some reason when I try to open this menu, it just like opens up the menu after this one too for some reason. I'm not quite sure why it does that, and to stop it we can just create a 1 frame delay with this timer. So basically what we're doing is up here we set the timer to 1, and then it's checking if it's less than or equal to 0, which it isn't, so it doesn't run, but afterwards it sets it to 0. So then the next frame when it runs, it does actually recognize it as being true, and it runs the code. I don't know why it does that. It seems kind of inconsistent with how it does it. I don't know why, so you just have to use this workaround if you ever have an issue where it seems like it's going through multiple menus at once in whatever. But for now, this is good, and you only need to do it for the first thing. But after that, we just need to say if selected equals 1 and global dot select button pressed, and then we can copy this code here, except we're going to change it from select key to cancel key. Right, okay, and so then we can copy it for the next few. We're going to change it from 1 to 2, and from select to sprint, and then from 1 to 3, and from cancel to menu, and then 1 to 4, cancel to up. Oops, there we go. I'm gonna change it from 1 to 5, cancel to down, 1 to 6, cancel to left, and finally we're changing it from 1 to 7, and from cancel to right. Perfect. But for now, that's not really, we don't see that, so let us program that in. We go to our thing here. We can just copy this for now, paste it. We're going to change it from language to select, and then we're going to do space dash enter slash, and then go outside the quotation marks. We're going to do a space, a plus, and then object underscore title dot select key. Okay, and so then we can like copy this for the other ones as well, like that and that. And so the second one's gonna be cancel. It's gonna be the cancel key. And this one is going to, we don't need the enter shift for this one, just the space. And this one is going to be sprint. And instead of enter, it's going to be shift. And of course, we don't want it to be select key. We want it to be sprint key. Okay. And then we can copy this for our menu key. Menu, yeah, so 3. Change this to menu, and this one is just going to be a space because there's no second button that you can use for it. And change this to menu key, and just for now we can see what that looks like. I actually just realized this needs to be 90 so it's not overlapping. Settings, and this is not right. It seems I forgot to change it from 2 to 3. There we go. Now controls, there you go. Got enter is select is enter and Z, cancel is X, sprint is shift and X, and menu is C. And then we can also add our up down left right ones, but you can also see that's not really gonna fit. So you could have it like to the right, but I'm gonna have it below. And so that it actually fits, we're gonna change how far apart they are from each other. So I'm gonna make it from 30 to 20, 60 to 40, and 90 to 60. So let's try that again. We go to controls, and there we go. Much more compact, and still looks good. And again, this background is not final. It doesn't look too great reading it, the text with this, but it's not gonna look like that in the final release. But anyway, so now we can add the arrow keys. So we're gonna change this to 4. We're gonna add 20 to this to make it 80, and this is gonna be up, and it's gonna be up key. Now, and this is gonna be up arrow slash, right? Because you can also press the up arrow for it. So you just can't change that keybind to something else. It's always going to be up arrow. Anyway, so we can do the same thing for our down. Oops, down. We can change it to 100. And from 4 to 5. Perfect. And just for the other two, which I will skip to being done with that. Okay, so now we have that all done, and oops, wait a minute, this needs to be 140. There we go. So now when we click settings, we go to controls, we have all the different possible controls that we can change, and we can click them, but of course that's not doing anything yet. So yeah, and also I forgot to program the X button to work with that menu, so let's have that implemented here. Yeah, so basically we can copy the code from this menu up here. We just copy, go to the bottom of it here, and we paste it, and we can just change it from 1 to 2 because we're going from menu 3 to menu 2. So we run it, settings, controls, we can go back. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so now it's time for the final menu, which is also the most annoying, but it's whatever. So basically, this is going to be menu 4, and this is our key select. And so how it's going to work is once you're in the game, you click your settings, you get the controls, you click one of the ones you want to change the keybind for, and it's going to show a list of all the letters and which one you want to set it to. So to do this, what we're going to say is if menu equals 4 and timer 2 equals actually is less than or equal to 0, for the same reason that we did before, is for whatever reason it like kept going into the next menu, and it was like, I don't want that, or not that it would select like a letter, it would select the letter A because it's the first one automatically as a new keybind, and that just, you know, isn't what we want. So what we're gonna do now is in these brackets here, if selected equals 0 and global dot select oops, I put a space, select button pressed, and we're gonna do a thing here, letter equals A, right? And now we can copy this for every letter of the alphabet, which is a little annoying, so yeah, you're just gonna paste it like 25 more times, so 2, 3, oops, but you get the point. I'll skip to once I have those all pasted. Okay, so now I have 26 A's pasted, and so now what I can do is just change the selected to a different number. It's gonna go up to 25 since we start with 0. Okay, and so then once you have all of those copied down, you can, or all the numbers changed, you can change the letters to each of the letters of the alphabet. Okay, and so then once you have all of those selected, what we are not selected, all those what we can do is we need to say down here, if control equals 0, then ini underscore open, and then we want to open controls ini. Then actually no, don't brackets. ini underscore right underscore string, and we're gonna save this under the save category. It's gonna be the select button, and we're gonna save whatever letter we just selected up here. And so basically what the control variable is like whatever control we selected up here. As you can see, like we set the control to different values up here. Actually, wait. I put these up too high. So these control variables is like whatever one we have selected. So actually up here what we need to do is we need to change, so this one, control 0 is good, but we need to change it to control 1, control 2, control 3, control 4, control 5, control 6, and control 7. Yes, so when like we click on the, for example, we click on the select one here, it's going to set control to 0. So then we're going to check for control 0 and then set, and then if it's 0, we're going to set the select key to whatever letter we selected. And you know, same with like, so this is 0, so then 1, 2, 3. If we click menu here, it sets control to 3. And then we're going to check for which one you click. And then it's going to set the, you know, menu button, so whatever letter you selected. So let's do that for our other letters here. Control 1, and this is going to be our cancel button. And yeah, so all you need to do for these ones is just change the number to the correct number, right? And then change it to whatever action it is. Okay, so now we have that all set up. What we need to actually do now is, after here, we're going to run our script to update the controls. And then we need to add the cancel thing. So if keyboard check pressed, global cancel button, then we're gonna go back to the last menu. So menu equals 3 and selected equals 0. There we go. And yes, so then down here, if menu equals 4, timer 2, minus, right? So then that is all the code we need. So for the step event, now for the draw event, we just need to draw all of the letters, and this part's just kind of really tedious, so I'm going to have this in the description to copy in a Google Doc. So it's gonna look like this. It's a lot, so you see why I'm just gonna have it available to copy. Yeah, you can go in and change the color for like the select and the selected options if you want. But yeah, and so I'm gonna have it so it's like it's 20 spaced, and once you get to a certain point, it goes 20 to the right and then 40 and so forth. And you can adjust that as you'd like, but as you can see, when I go here and I select for like menu, we have this nice little thing of all the letters. You can't go right to left because I didn't feel like programming that, but if you know how to do that, you can do it. But in the future, I'm gonna show like a better way of doing this, but for now, this I think is good enough for just a simple way of doing it. But yeah, for example, if I want to change this to E, I can click the enter button or whatever I have to select as, press X, and I'm out. And it should show that menu is E here, and we can go check our INI files in our app data, and it's saved right here. So if you ever just want to edit it like this, you can also say like select equals and then like A, for example, right? Save it, and then you start your game. And then if you go into your thing, you can press A to select stuff, and it shows up right here. Why you wouldn't do it in the game, I don't know, but that is an option. So yeah, and of course you can navigate the menu using WASD as well. Well, really just W and S, but you know, if you decided to add support for going left and right, you can have it use S and D. Oh, it looks like I forgot for the directions here to actually type the correct things, so it was not actually saving them. So yes, let's fix that here. There we go. So now if I actually run the game and try to change, like, yeah, so now it actually shows the correct changes I made to it, where I can make it like F if I wanted. I can go back, it's F. If I start the game, I press F, I walk up. Perfect. Alright, I accidentally muted my mic when I was recording this part, but if we go to our game, okay, and we can go to our buttons objects, and we can copy the code for each of these things and paste them in the buttons continue object. The only changes you need to make are for in menu 1, you need to add the reset thing here. Right, make sure this is 1, and then settings, make sure it's 2, right, and then down here you need to make sure for if menus 1 you change it to 4 instead of 3, since we added a new option, or just +1 of whatever, you know, the number of buttons you have. And in the draw event we just need to make sure we change it from start game or new game to continue, and then reset in settings and make sure to adjust the selected numbers accordingly. And that is all the changes you need to make. That is it for today, so thank you so much for watching. To end off, here's some progress for a Fangame being made by Puddlecat, and I'll share a link below to his channel for you to follow. If you want your work shown off at the end here, join the Discord below and post it in the Arts and Crafts channel. I always want to get permission before posting anything in my videos, or using anything in my videos, so if you do post something there and want it to be in the video, just say, I would like this to be in the next video, or that you don't. Just so that I don't have to ask, like, on the day that I'm recording, I'm like, oh wait, I want to show off the work, and then I'm like, gotta make sure. So just, you know, say that if you would. I also always link anyone's YouTube or other account when showing off their stuff, if they have one, so also give me that, or have it in your Discord bio if you want to be in the video, or if you want that to be in the video. Alternatively, you can tag me in a post of your work on Bluesky if you prefer. Mine will be in the description. Have a great day and good luck with your fan games!